and was required to memorize scriptures every day for school, chapel, and for church and stuff, classes and everything. So I used to know the Bible like the back of my hand. And if I wanted to know it like the back of my hand again, if I stop and think about it, I could probably still remember some scriptures. I've read the Bible cover to cover many times. You know, we had church twice on Sunday, and then again on Wednesday night, and then, you know, chapel every day at school and Bible class. So those are not issues for me. You know, and I'm getting this kind of crap from some snitches that are Christian, looking for delusions of the end of the world bullshit. I'm not into that, you know. I know that there are people who are. I know that there are preachers who preach it. You know, I've sat through sermons where it was preached, you know, and studied it, you know, end of the world, what do they call it? I forget what they call it. It's not just the Book of Revelation. Some other term I can't remember. So, anyway, that's not something that interests me. You know, I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I think it's entertainment, really. That's what I think it is. Because everybody has their different interpretation of it. You know, there's no way to know that when the world is going to end. Because we live in the here and now, and that's the future, you know. If it ever does end, I don't know it will. Or won't, you know. Existentially speaking, there's theories, but there's no other way to know, you know, because we're human beings and we're limited to our experience in the here and now. We have our memories from yesterday, but there's no way we can know tomorrow. There are some things we can predict, like the weather. There are some reasonable things that we can reasonably predict in the future. But the rest of it's all theory. And there are people that are psychic that have theories. There's prophets like Nostradamus and Edgar Cayce that have their theories. Everybody has theories, but that's all they are, is theories. That's not reality. And I mean, those are questions that anybody I think in human nature, we all want to know what our future is. You know, but the reality is that we live and we die, and we have our lives, that we have the time that we have on this earth for whatever time period that is. And that's the time that we have. That's all of our time that we have on this earth. Now, you know, you can say reincarnation and all those types of things, but we don't know that. You know, I could have been the Virgin Mary in my last life. I wouldn't know that. I mean, you know, there's no way you could know that even if it was true. So what point is it, you know, to theorize it? And I know there's nations that do. Groups, you know, of individuals who have those types of beliefs, and, you know, who's right and who's wrong. All I know is that we all have the same human bodies, more or less. We all have the same physical requirements to live, you know, food, clothing, and shelter, and occupation. We have our life now, and to me that's most important. And the rest of it, to me, to spend time and energy, like I did for years, you know, studying the Bible and trying to be a good person is a good thing to do. I'm not against that, you know, but being absorbed in it, you know, I don't see what the point of that is. It doesn't make that much difference. You know, to focus on prophecy and all that. And, you know, the end of the world and stuff. I mean, I think it's good for the government to, you know, try to predict who's got nuclear weapons and who doesn't, and who looks nuts, like North and South Korea or stuff like that. But, you know, and we do have an interest in our own futures and trying to preserve the human race. You know, but, I mean, I'm just saying that people that spend hours and hours and days and trying to determine the way the puzzle of all the prophecy in the Bible and all that kind of stuff, you know, I think that's entertainment for them. That's what I think it is. And egotistically, it makes you feel good to say, yeah, you predicted the future, you know. You're the one who put the puzzle together. Yay for you. But I think it's just something to occupy yourself and human interest, really. I believe people do have spiritual lives, and, you know, God, I think He wrote the Bible, and it's for us to survive in this world, you know, to help us make it through life. And that's the reason for a spiritual relationship with God. And worrying about the rest of it is just, to me, is a waste of time. You know, what's going to happen next week or next month? Is this Armageddon? Is it going to be China or Russia? You know, and what does this prophecy mean or that one? You know, all that's just crazy to me. It doesn't make sense to me. And I wouldn't spend my time worrying with it, except for entertainment purposes. And that's not really